Jeep, one of America's most iconic car brands, has been facing a big decline in sales this year. And while other Stellantis brands like Ram and Chrysler also struggle, Jeep's downturn is particularly interesting, as even icons like the Wrangler are seeing disappointing results. Dealer lots are full, production lines pause, while Jeep's adaptation to new market demand seems to have taken the wrong path. What in the hell is going on at Jeep? Let's try to find some answers. Big downturn. Jeep is seeing a big downturn in sales this year, which is pretty much in line with other Stellantis brands in North America. Ram is down, Chrysler's down too, but somehow Jeep's fall is the hardest to understand. Even the most iconic models like the Wrangler have been recording poor sales results lately, while Jeep's overall score is nearly 20% down compared to last year. Reasons for such a major fall are numerous and are part of a much bigger problem, but for now, we're focusing on this beloved enthusiast brand. Once again, we can stick with Wrangler, as its sales numbers are so bad that the company had to stop production in the Ohio plant for several weeks and re-establish it only recently. Other legendary models such as the Grand Cherokee aren't performing much better either. The midsize SUV produced in Detroit also had a similar production stoppage, and if you're looking for a reason, let's say that Jeeps are piling up on dealer lots due to the strange pricing policy Stellantis has been practicing lately, with higher MSRPs and fewer promotions compared to rivals. According to Cox Automotive, Jeep's current inventory is tremendous, with a 4-month supply on dealer lots. At the same time, the industry average market supply is around 68 days, so you get the picture of how slow things are going at Jeep at the moment. While some like to point out the global market trends where there isn't enough room for enthusiast cars anymore, we say that's not exactly true. Yes, most customers prefer practical on-road oriented SUVs, but enthusiast cars from rival brands are doing great at the moment, especially the new generation of the Mustang, which improved its sales record by 20% compared to the previous year, despite the traditional design approach that's still all about typical muscle car values. Somehow, Jeep is losing that enthusiast part of its identity, and obviously that hurts it a lot. The 2025 Wrangler case. To better understand the reasons for Jeep's downturn, we can take the 2025 Wrangler as an example, as it perfectly showcases everything that's wrong with Stellantis' approach to traditional Jeep customers. The 2025 model is getting notable updates, and some of them are raising big concerns among loyal customers. The biggest one is the way the company treats the good old 3.6-liter V6 engine, which has been a reliable choice for years. For some reason, management wants to direct customers to the optional Turbo 4, which may be more efficient, but hasn't won the hearts of traditional Jeep clientele. And how does Jeep execute this switch? Well, the good old Pentastar V6 is still there, but starting next year, it'll be available only with a manual gearbox. For some reason, the 8-speed automatic won't come with this engine, but rather with a Turbo 4. In this way, Jeep is directly limiting access to the V6 and forcing customers to make a switch they don't want. Experts believe that one of the key problems is that the European management of Stellantis never got the right perception of Jeep. French management doesn't seem to understand Jeep's unique appeal and customer base. Instead, it makes decisions on statistical data, neglecting the cultural aspect and Jeep's legacy in general in the American off-road community. Instead, with the fact that a vast number of Wrangler owners never go off-road, it tries to make this SUV more roadworthy, undermining the essence of what makes it. A vehicle designed for adventure and rugged terrain. On top of that, pricing is also an issue, something that troubles not just Wrangler or Jeep, but Stellantis for a while, which we will talk about in a moment. In the Wrangler's case, the problem is that with aspirations to become more on-road focused, base models lose some basic features and become more premium instead of being more utilitarian. For example, there's the elimination of manual locks and windows for the next year, just one of the many things that caused disappointment among customers who appreciated the affordability and simplicity that base Wranglers used to have. Things like these make many potential traditional customers feel alienated, as they now perceive a decline in off-road capabilities, and potentially that could impact future Wrangler sales and the overall health of Jeep as a brand. Jeep's pricing policy. As we already mentioned in the video, one of the key reasons for the massive sales decline and all those vehicles piling on dealer lots is the pricing policy Jeep has been practicing lately. It has drawn nothing but heavy criticism, as there has been a noticeable trend of rising prices over the years across the brand's lineup. Many saw this as a departure from the brand's traditional value proposition. Yes, Jeep has introduced new features and technologies, but the massive price increase made many potential buyers feel like they're not getting the same level of ruggedness and functionality that the brand was once known for. Perception has changed, and now customers see Jeep shifting toward a more premium market. Loyal customers who appreciate the affordability and straightforwardness of previous models certainly don't like this. We already talked about the discontinuation of base features on the Wrangler, but that trend is present in other Jeep models as well. Jeep appears to be catering to a more upscale clientele, but what about the loyal fan base? They feel like this new direction, with a focus on luxury, is coming at the expense of the brand's core values. So many experts suggest that loyal customers who always appreciated Jeep's no-frills nature feel beyond disappointed now. Accessible options for adventurous driving don't exist anymore, which, according to some, directs loyal customers to some other brands and models, particularly Ford and Toyota. It's all about balance, and it seems like Jeep has lost it. The Gladiator's fall continues. If there's a model that perfectly reflects the current state of Jeep, that would be the Gladiator. At the time it was introduced, it had all it takes to become an absolute class leader. Besides conventional mid-size pickup values, such as excellent towing capacity and impressive off-road potential, it was also by far the coolest looking pickup on the market. So the first few years were quite successful for the Wrangler-based pickup. Sales figures peaked in 2021, but then things went downhill. Compared to nearly 90,000 units sold in 2021, these numbers went down to 55,000 in 2023, while the first 3 quarters of 2024 show that the downturn continues at a critical rate, with just 32,000 Gladiators sold in this period. Reasons for such a negative trend are various, starting from the aforementioned pricing policy. If we exclude the unibody Ridgeline, the Gladiator is by far the most expensive mid-size pickup on the market. Even after the price cut earlier this year, the base model still costs nearly $40,000, and while some like to point out pretty decent standard equipment, this doesn't look like something folks would call cheap. Things become even more problematic once you realize that Jeep hasn't done much to stop this negative trend. Yes, the new plug-in hybrid version is on its way, but other than that, things haven't changed much since launch. Meanwhile, pretty much every classmate got redesigned and now looks more modern, more appealing, and more affordable. Like, a much better deal overall. Wagoneer S on hold. Just like the rest of Stellantis, Jeep has a lot of trouble with the electric revolution. Although it seemed almost ready to kick off production, the all-electric iteration of the full-size SUV Jeep Wagoneer will have to wait for some time before making it to the market. The initial plan was to hit the market this fall, but obviously that's not happening. Instead, Antonio Filosa, Jeep CEO, insists on removing all design flaws before rolling out. I want perfect quality. And I know that we're close, but close isn't good enough. Filosa said that, and then added that although timing is important, what's more important is quality, as the new electric SUV needs to be perfect for the customer buying the car. The only problem is that this launch has been pushed back indefinitely and no one knows when it's going to happen. The debacle Chrysler had when it rolled out the plug-in hybrid Pacifica might have something to do with this decision, considering that Jeep traditionally ends up near the bottom of every reliability list, no matter the survey or research. But does this indefinite delay mean that there's something more than quality concerns? What about the cost and the potential big loss of money? What about the production concerns and other issues Stellantis has with EV production all over the world? We don't have the answers, but the fact is we will have to wait for who knows how much longer to see Jeep's first ever EV in North America. Similar delays have already happened in Europe with the electric Citroën and Peugeot models, so it's pretty clear that this is part of a much bigger problem. Thanks for watching and see you next time.